What is going on, guys? Today we're going to be talking about what you should spec into if you want to do HCE tanking. So like we usually do, I want to go ahead and go over a few things before we start this video, and the first thing being the giveaway. The winner of the giveaway was chosen the same way that the last winner of the giveaway was chosen, and that was through a random number generation by a computer. So basically, I explained this in the last video, but I'll quickly go over it again in this video. What I did was put down everyone's name and I put a number with it, and then I had the computer generate a random number within the boundaries of however many people went ahead and entered in their name. Whatever number was selected that corresponded with the person's name is the person that won. In total, there were 34 people that entered into this giveaway, and the winner of this giveaway is Roshu. So I'm going to go ahead and send you a in-game mail, an Albion online mail service, within the next hour after this video is uploaded, and we can meet up in-game and I will go ahead and give you your Divine Owl. Congratulations once again, Roshu. I just wanted to quickly say thank you to everyone who entered in the giveaway, and I would definitely plan on doing more of these, so be prepared to watch out for them in the future so you can enter and maybe win a cool mount. And for the second and final announcement of this video, I'm going to go ahead and apologize to you guys because I did not post the chart that says how much silver you get while having premium status for each level and every single HCE map. The reason why it's taking so long is because I have to do the fistful of silver maps, and personally that's not a map that I'm a fan of just because it takes so long. So that's why it is taking me so long to go ahead and post that chart, but like I said, I am planning on getting that done sometime in the near future, and as well I'm going to be making a video on that chart. So after giving those two announcements, I'm going to go ahead and get into our current video for today. And I really thought that this was a very unique one just because I have never seen anyone talk about this. And it's just a topic that I have not seen anyone post about, or like I said, I've just seen nothing about this topic. And that topic is, what should you spec into if you want to do HCE tanking? I know that sounds very simple and something that you can kind of assume, but there definitely are strategies that I have used to get my IP up a little quicker than just randomly putting spec into items, which, these might have been things that you have not thought about or just things that, like I said, haven't been talked about. So it's something that should be out there and should be very accessible to anyone who wants to start doing HCEs. So one of the things that we're going to be using a lot is the Destiny board, and obviously we're going to be using the Destiny board because that's where you spec into items, turn off auto respec, and also just see the leveling for items. So as you can see with the meta tank build, I'm around 1790 IP, which is pretty decent. I'm able to do up to level 17 maps and 18 if I have a really good team, but usually want to have over 1800 IP to do level 18 maps. But as you can see, I'm using the standard tank build, and that's what we're going to want to go ahead and spec into first. That is probably one of the most important things that you need to put whatever fame credits you get into, or just level up. We're going to go ahead and open the Destiny board now, and one thing that we need to make clear is before you start actually putting spec into items, you're going to want to go ahead and make sure that all the nodes for the meta tank build are filled or leveled up so that you could use tier 8 of these items. And that's very important before you start speccing into these items. So once you have all tier 8 items, as you saw, this Lurch Fighter node is back around 8,000 fame credits if you were to reverse one level of it. Where if you're going to go ahead and look at the Black Monk save, say perhaps, you can go ahead and get roughly 200,000 fame credits for these items. So the reason why I'm saying this is because once you have all the nodes for the meta tank build to allow you to use tier 8, I would say you need a spec into the Leering Cane. And the reason being is this will fill up so quick. This Leering Cane will level up the node so quickly. And now moving on, we want to do our soldier helmet and the royal shoes next. It really doesn't matter which one you get to 100 spec first, for the royal shoes or for the soldier helmet. They both are going to cost the same amount to level up, so make sure you do both of them to level 50 first, and then start putting more levels into them. The second to last thing we want to go ahead and spec into is the Guardian armor, and this is going to take a little more spec than the boots and helmet, and that's why we're looking at this second to last. And now finally we're going to want to go ahead and spec into the mace, and the mace is last just because it takes the most amount of fame credits to spec into. As you can see, it's 410,000 fame credits back if you like unspec one level, where if you're looking at something like the Lyrian Can, we only got like 8,000, and like I said, with the helmet it was in between there. Same with the armor, it was somewhere in between those numbers. It's important to spec into these nodes first, just because these are going to be the items that you are using, and it impacts how long stun duration lasts and all that kind of stuff, all your abilities. So make sure you spec into these first. Finally, if you spec into items that are in the same category, as you can see, it provides a specialization bonus to all items in the torch category, specifically for this specific example. So, as you can see, if we spec into all of the torches, this is going to go ahead and affect the Lyrian Cane spec by however much we spec up the other torches to be. Same with the shields, obviously, and the reason why I compare these two is because they both require almost no fame to level up really quickly. So I would say that you'd have to do this in the same exact order as the last nodes that we leveled up, as in like the type of node. And I would say go ahead and do all the Lyrian Canes up to level 100 as the first thing you want to spec into. This is very important because you can level this up super quickly, and you could easily have your Lyrian Cane at 1900 spec just by doing this, and obviously having, the masterpiece items. But honestly, without the masterpiece items, you could still easily get your IP for the Lyrian Canes super high just by specking into these items first. And then for the second ones you want to go into is the shoes and the helmet, and then the armor, and then the mace. Finally, the mace. And for the shoes and the helmet, I would say what you want to do first is go ahead and put 50 spec into each node at least. That's what I did. And the reason why is because if you put 50 spec into each node, it takes a lot less experience points or fame credits to level up a node to 50 than it does to get it to 100. And you're going to go ahead and get a lot more IP than if you're able to do 2 nodes to 50 rather than, taking the time and doing 1 node to 100. Or I'd say even in the time you're able to get 1 node to 100, you could probably do like 2 to 4 nodes up to 50, which is going to get you a lot more fame credits just by doing that. To reiterate, what I'm saying to do, or what I recommend to do, is to spec all of the torch nodes first. Make sure you get those done. And then after you do that, you could go ahead and do the plate helmet as well as the leather shoe nodes and get those to 50. And the reason being is by the time you could get one of those nodes to 100, you could probably get, 3 to 4 of those nodes to 50, and you're going to get a lot more spec by leveling up those nodes to 50 rather than just leveling up 1 to 100 at a time. So I would say try and get all of the shoes and helmet nodes up to 50, and then move on to the armor nodes and get all of those to 50, and then try and do the same thing with the maces. And that's currently where I'm at in this process. I'm trying to get the maces up to 50. I do have some of the other nodes a little bit higher, but that's just because I've been messing around and playing to see what is the most efficient in leveling up. But so once you get all of those to 50, go ahead and repeat the process. But obviously this time you're not going to need to do the Lyrian Canes. So I would recommend, if you don't have the shields at this point already to 100 spec, then definitely do those. do those first and then go ahead and repeat the process until you get all the nodes to 100. Well guys, I hope you found this video helpful, and the process really isn't that complicated, but I'm sure you will be able to get this done pretty quickly as long as you do a lot of HCEs. And obviously getting all the nodes to 100 is pretty hard because I have not done this, but I mean the process up to 50 is not bad at all, and it's very attainable. And obviously you could see I'm at like almost 1800 IP from doing this process and getting them all up to 50. So once you get to that point, you'll be able to basically do 18s, 17 and 18s mainly. But yeah, so I hope this video was helpful, and I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.